Clara lived on the outskirts of town, where wheat fields brushed against the sky and the nearest neighbor was half a mile away. She loved the silence of the farm, or the way the wind whispered through the tall grass, the way the earth smelled after rain. But at school, that silence became her curse. She was the quiet girl, the one who wore the same faded jeans, her hair in simple braids, her notebooks covered in doodles of animals and dreamscapes instead of gossip or makeup ads. To most of her classmates, she was invisible. To a cruel few, she was a target. The ringleader was Madison, a girl with polished nails, expensive clothes, and a tongue sharp enough to cut glass. Her followers, 3 girls and a boy who always hovered nearby, laughed at every insult Madison's bad. Clara tried to ignore them, focusing on her books, her drawings, her thoughts. But cruelty has a way of cornering you. One Friday afternoon, after classes, the bullies' mocking went too far. Clara had stayed late to finish an assignment in the library. On her way out, they blocked her path. Madison smirked, whirling her hair. "Farm girl, you ever heard of a shower? Or do you just roll in the mud with your cows?" The group laughed. Clara lowered her eyes, clutching her backpack tighter. She wanted to walk past, but the boy, Connor, stepped in front of her. They herded her toward the gym, where the school pool gleamed under the fluorescent lights. "You're too quiet, Clara," Madison sneered. "Maybe we should help you make a splash." Before Clara could react, hands shoved her from behind. Cold water swallowed her whole. Chlorine burned her eyes. She flailed for a second before instinctively honed from years of discipline training calmed her. She kicked, surged upward, and broke the surface. The bullies' laughter echoed in the pool room. But inside Clara's chest, something stirred. For years she had hidden it. The countless hours her father, a retired martial arts instructor, had trained her in the barn, teaching her balance, patience, and discipline. Clara wasn't just a quiet farm girl. She was a martial arts prodigy who could disarm grown men twice her size. She climbed out of the pool, dripping, her braids heavy with water. The bullies expected tears. They expected her to run. Instead, Clara straightened her back and met Madison's eyes for the first time. And for the first time, Madison flinched. The weekend at the farm was quiet, but Clara's mind was loud. She replayed the moment over and over: the laughter, the shove, the splash. She had stayed silent for years because her father always taught her martial arts was for defense, never for pride. But silence had allowed cruelty to grow like weeds in her life. Maybe it was time to defend not just herself, but the piece of her spirit that deserved to be seen. Monday morning, Clara walked into school with her head a little higher. The whispers followed her down the hall. "That's the girl they pushed into the pool." She just stood there dripping, didn't even cry. Madison smirked, thinking she had broken her. But Clara wasn't broken. She was waiting. That afternoon, it happened again. Near the bleachers, Madison shoved Clara's shoulder. "Still wet, farm girl, or do you need another dip?" This time, Clara didn't shrink. She shifted her stance just enough for balance, like her father taught her. When Connor reached to grab her bag, Clara's reflexes took over. With a simple twist, she sidestepped and flipped his wrist, sending him stumbling. Gasps rose from nearby students. "What? How did you?" Connor muttered, clutching his arm. Madison's smirk faltered. But Clara didn't press forward. She didn't attack. She simply stood tall, water still dripping in everyone's memory, but her strength blazing in the present. Word spread fast. Students whispered about her skill, about how the quiet farm girl moved like someone out of an action movie. But the truth was simpler. Clara was done being small. The bullying didn't vanish overnight. Madison tried to humiliate her again, but each attempt only exposed Madison's cruelty against Clara's calm, unshakable presence. Other students began to see it too, the difference between loud arrogance and quiet strength. And slowly, Clara went from being invisible to being respected. The moment of transformation came at a school assembly. Madison tried to mock Clara in front of the crowd, tossing an insult that would have once sent Clara into silence. But this time, Clara stepped forward, her voice steady. "Madison, you can keep laughing if it makes you feel strong, but real strength isn't about pushing others down. It's about lifting yourself up." The gym went silent. Even the teachers stared. Madison's face burned red, but she had no comeback. For the first time, Clara wasn't just defending herself as she was teaching everyone a lesson.